All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for another episode of the Mix Behind the Mic podcast. My name's Harry McCluskey. Keith, my co-host, is on today. And today we're talking about the one decision people make when planning wedding music, band or DJ. But why not both today? Today we have someone that I met a month ago at a wedding and said, damn, I love this guy's energy. We got to get him on the pod. Mr. Benny Brown, our percussionist, first of the pod. Welcome to the show, Mr.
Thank you so
Brown.
much. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
So anytime I do a wedding and there's multiple rooms and I'm the MC, I always love to sneak over in the back of the room, check out what that other DJ setup looks like. And it just so happens a month ago, I do this at a wedding. I peek in and I see my buddy Sasha crushing on the violin. And he's like, you got to peek at this guy, Mr. Benny Brown, and just the energy. And I have this vision of you not sitting, but standing and just beating these drums. And I'm just like, wow, this guy's awesome. So welcome to the show, and excited to have you here, man.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Yeah.
So walk me through the story. How long have we been doing it? How do we get into weddings? Paint the picture.
So I've been playing drums and music since I was a little kid, probably 4 years old.
Okay.
My dad played percussion, so there was like a lot of percussion instruments all over the house. And so I got into it through that, playing with my dad, studying with my dad a little bit. And then he like incentivized me to get better by being like, I'll buy you this snare drum that you really want if you learn this. So he would provide me like a Billy Cobham record and be like, can you learn this song? And if I did it, I would get a new snare drum. So he did a lot of positive reinforcement in that way. And then from there, like they offered in school. So I started taking like school lessons around like third grade. I played violin as well. And then did that all through school, marching band, the whole school program thing, also taking private lessons. And then right after I graduated high school, I was like very into playing in original bands. So It was like I was playing like every club in Philly. I was playing multiple nights a week, just trying to play with as many artists as possible because that was what was inspiring to me. Sure. And a friend of mine who owns one of these companies, she saw me out playing somewhere, and it had been a couple of years since I had seen her, and she's like, hey, do you have any interest in working in the private event industry? And I kind of like put that as a thing where I was like a purist, where it wasn't artistic or something. Right. And then she was like, no, it's really cool. We're doing this cool fusion thing with DJs. Maybe it's something that you would be interested in. This is probably like 2010.
Okay.
And so I started working events for them. And then fast forward to now, I've done hundreds of events, hundreds of weddings, mostly in the DJ hybrid scenario. I've subbed with a lot of event bands as well, and through that, just got more and more involved, and actually it became like really inspiring to me to see these events like unfold and the level of professionalism that happens on these gigs, as opposed to maybe some of the original stuff was a little bit more dark club, seedy. But so I would do I did a ton of events, and then got more ingrained in the scene, and then started musical directing some of these projects and putting together little hybrids. And I've really found that I really take every event seriously. I think that every event matters. I think that all these couples, especially for weddings, they are spending all this money on these things. I want to just make sure that I exceed their expectations every single time. So that's something that I've gotten into over time. But it probably, I guess it started like from a drum standpoint, but then got into the event industry through the hybrids, and then now I'm doing events, 50 something weddings a year.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's wild to me when you said 2010, and it's baffling because I'm in this 20 years. I've done hundreds of weddings, and I've never seen, and I've definitely seen drummers with DJs at bars in the past. I've never seen that at a wedding. And again, your energy is really how you're in the seat today, if we talk about it. So kudos. But it's baffling to me that I offer violin and sax. I've never even discussed the percussion edition. And now I'm just like, what have we been waiting for this whole time?
Yeah.
Now, is there a ton of Benny Browns out there? And, we'll talk about doing business together. But it's just, I think I get more excited every time I see more additions added to the DJ. And it was simply, again, I saw sax one time. We talked about doing it. We had sax. And then I was like, oh, sax and violin together. And then with the drums. And I'm just like, wow. And it's funny. We just had someone make a comment on our Instagram this past week. And this is kind of perfect to talk about it now, where she's like, I was going back and forth, band or DJ. I decided I'm going DJ with the fusion route. Like, what instruments do you suggest? And obviously it's the three I just mentioned to start. But like, people literally put more than three together with the DJ, which again, I keep thinking more the merrier, but it's like kind of crazy. Do you have a preference? I mean, there has to be such thing as too much, right?
Certainly.
Okay.
Yeah. So doing these, I find that sometimes you'll have great musicians that don't necessarily understand the role of a musician with a DJ, with a hybrid.
This is great. This is why this is a great one.
Yeah, I think that there's been a lot of times where I've had really successful hybrids with musicians that I never met before. And that's just because they're coming with the right attitude, and that there's some level of administrative compression, let's say, where there's a mission statement ahead of time that this is what we're going to do. This is the type of function that you have as a sax player, as a violin player, as a drummer with this thing. It's not playing all the parts exactly how they are on the record, or having everything be so buttoned up. I think it's more an energy thing. It's more of an interactive type of experience as opposed to a band. And there's some musicians that haven't had that experience, so there is like a learning gap. And I find that the more musicians that you add, if it's not orchestrated correctly, it becomes a little sloppy, or could.
Sure.
But I find that if you have one melodic instrument, one percussive instrument, and then the DJ, that really works really well. Or as you start to add more and more melodic instruments, they just have to be really on the same page, because the last thing I think I want to hear at a wedding is like a sax player or a violin player or a drummer just playing a lot of notes over top of the music. I think the philosophy that I've heard some musicians say is, oh, this is a great place for me to practice or show off my chops. And I'm like, it's kind of not the job.
It's not, actually.
Yeah, that's not what you want. And like, you could be the best sax player in the world, but if you're just ripping John Coltrane solos over Rihanna, it's not, nobody really wants to hear that.
Right.
So I actually like, and I developed it over time, but I kind of have a little key that I have in my head of I'm either, as the drummer with the role that I'm trying to do, I'm trying to be energetic. I'm trying to play appropriate stuff and not play too much. But if I'm gonna play outside of what's on the record, I'm trying to play something that the audience knows. So I'm technically or I'm really just thinking about either burying the beat that's on the record, or if there's a vocal part or a signature melodic part or a guitar part or a synth part, I'm gonna catch that with something that I'm doing. But outside of that, it's not like, look how fast I can play.
Right.
It's more like, look how much energy I can have while I'm playing something that you enjoy.
Sure.
You know?
Is it safe to say, when you're talking multiple playing together, that like somewhere, somehow, simply you have to also say like, stay in your lane?
Yeah.
Like, is it that simple at times in so many words?
With some gigs I've done in the past, I've been like deputized to be like the musical director of those situations.
Sure,
And
okay.
when it's very clear, it's really easy for me to just say, hey, like, let's think about what our goals here are for this event. And it's really just like, can we have a moment where we're in the crowd and interacting? And at that moment, it's really less about what you're playing. It's more about how you're playing.
Sure.
So you want that big energy, or if it's a big energy moment, you want that big energy to be happening. But like, people aren't really concerned about what notes are happening. So I'm just making sure that, like, coming from like a touring background of like where I've played with like a lot of touring acts and festivals and things like that, and putting those shows together, I oftentimes don't think about like the set list per se. I think about tentpole moments throughout the show that are things that people are going to take away, whether that's like switching instruments or like I do a thing where I like jump off the seat and land, and it's like I call it the dunk.
Can we get a video of that right here?
Do you have a video of that?
Oh yeah, tons.
I figured.
Yeah.
Okay, we need that one.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So after when I do so those are things that I'm thinking about, like where can I put these throughout the night that there's always these high impact moments that sustain the energy throughout the whole event. And as far as that is concerned, I think that it's easier sometimes when it's the roles are clear cut, and that usually comes from like the top down. So if it's the DJ that put the musicians together, there should be a level of, hey, this is what our goal is, and then it gets everybody on the same page. Everybody's unified for the right thing.
Right. Take us to your first wedding as a hybrid with a DJ. What was the experience like? Is it, I assume, has to be completely than any other act together, musically you've worked with. So walk us through it.
Well, so the first one that I ever did, I was prepped very well because the company that I worked for had been doing the fusion thing for a while. So they gave me kind of the rundown of what they were expecting. And I was nervous a little bit because I was going in and it was a wedding. It was and it was right after I had gotten hired. It was like I got the job, and then it was like, you're going out this weekend. Like we needed to fill some spots. So I was there, and then it took me a little bit because when I was significantly younger, 16 years younger at that time. So I, just like a lot of young musicians, I think that my goal was to prove to everybody that I was the best drummer of all time. So every moment was an opportunity for me to show how good I am. But I learned over time that wasn't necessarily the case. But the first wedding that I did, I'm not exactly sure what the venue was, but it was a pretty new experience for me, and I feel like it went pretty well. I mean, I got booked again, which is
right.
I guess the goal.
Right.
But it was. I just know that like my early weddings, that I didn't really have it all figured out, and I didn't really understand how much value bringing the right equipment, knowing the songs. Like I knew a lot of pop music, but it wasn't like I was that familiar with the transitions between songs. Although I from playing jazz and different things, I got.
And nothing, no disrespect to the company either, but like in my own business and my own policies and procedures, I don't hand any of our musicians that we work with, like, here's the playbook of how we want you to go into stuff. So I think it's also like a learning curve for yourself as you go, because there's no real manual that says this is how live musicians are supposed to work with a DJ at a wedding.
Yeah. I mean, it's everybody has an opinion and a different approach. And I just, I'm big on like that you can't skip experiences.
Yeah,
so
100%.
It really just took me like many years of doing this to get to the place where I feel like I'm at now, where I have like it's not just me playing the songs. I'm always thinking about what more can I do to provide more value as the drummer in the role of the drummer on this hybrid gig. How can I provide the most amount of value? And if I watch videos of me playing weddings from 15 years ago, like I might cringe a little bit at some of the choices that I made.
We all do in that aspect.
But then over time, like the evolution of like miking my own drums, providing my own in-ears, maybe providing lighting, and then
which I saw you had at that last wedding.
Yeah, and then even like I have because I got kind of obsessed with like building LED fixtures, and so I installed my own LED strips in my drums, so I have them DMXable, so I can control them via triggers or via software, and that's just like an extra thing that like it's just another added value. It's not something that like I personally charge as like an upsell. It's more so it's just like this is
part of the experience.
Yeah, this is my experience. This is what I'm gonna provide. If that's not right for a couple, they certainly can tell me not to do it. Sure. That's the level. I'm always thinking like, how can I be more than just a drummer? I want to be like a full on entertainer and part of this full entertainment experience at an event.
You bring a full kit, full just drums. Wow.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I'm sitting here thinking like I wish you saw this.
I feel like in my mind I don't know why I thought it was like a more dumbed down kind of version of a drum set or something.
Sometimes I do. More often it's a full drum set, and actually I prefer to play a full drum set because it moves air in the room. Like you had actually previously asked if I had a preference on instrumentation, and actually I would say it's anything that moves air is the stuff that. Those are the things that actually are effective as a hybrid.
Move there for the people that don't know.
A saxophone like physically moves sound through the air. A violin could if it's an acoustic violin or even an acoustic guitar, but like a keyboard,
right?
You see the person's hands, but it's really just the sound is just coming through the PA. So
Gotcha.
it's as if it could be part of the track. If I'm playing a sampler pad, it could be part of the track. It's like there is a visual element to it, but like. Right. The drums actually physically move. Like when I hit a kick drum, you can feel it in the room, and those are the things that, coupled with the track sound, that's what makes it feel like if you close your eyes, you think that a real band is there, like a full band is there.
Gotcha. So do you play anything else?
Yeah. So sometimes with certain hybrids, I'll get hired to play guitar for ceremony, like acoustic guitar for ceremony, because I've played a bunch of instruments growing up, and
You still play violin? I know you said that earlier.
I haven't in a little bit, but I could probably pick it up, and I did it all through.
They want violin. You could be on the next ceremony.
I know a really, really good guy who can could help me along and get me there. But usually I play a violin player, Sasha, who's been on this.
Yeah, he's been on the
podcast. Yeah. He we'll do duo where it's me playing guitar, him playing violin, or during cocktails, sometimes I bring a
This
djembe.
is what I want. This is what I want to talk about.
As a percussionist, like I do this for the reception too, where I have a djembe that I strap onto myself and I play. So during cocktail, I'm mobile. I can move around.
It was awesome. I watched this. I walked in.
It's super fun.
It's like a drum vest.
It's like a strap that has a hand drum.
It looks like a bongo almost.
Yeah, it's an African drum. It's like
For some reason, when we first like the first time he told me percussion at a wedding, I assumed it was some sort of melodic drum. Like I don't know why.
Like steel drums.
Yeah, or like a dumbed down drum. I didn't imagine like a full kit just pop, 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 pop. You know what I mean?
So this takes me into my next segment. Actually, when people think drums at wedding, I feel some people are going to think it's too loud.
100%.
So, and again, you talked to years of experience. Obviously, this is all part of it, but like, that's my first thought. And is it just simply that you're going to respond with that comes with experience and knowing your room, or is there more to it than simply that?
There's a couple factors. I mean, certainly drums are loud, and I think my personal opinion is that drums are manufactured and made to be played loud. Like they sound better when they're hit with force, especially with pop music, backbeat oriented music. I think that they're meant to be hit. With that said, sometimes I have been set up directly next to grandma at the wedding,
and it's just the worst ever.
Yeah, and so there are limitations. Of course, I never want to play outplay the room. I always am looking at the capacity of the room, and I'm tailoring the level in which I'm playing volume wise to that room. But with that said, there's sometimes where logistically, like my cymbals are right next to grandma's ear, and there's a little bit that I have to either alter my setup to move things over to the left side as opposed to being on the right side, so it's there. But the other option that I offer oftentimes is if it's like we know ahead of time that the sound is going to be an issue. Like there's a few venues that have sound ordinance, so they walk around with the thing, and it's like no matter what I'm playing, it's gonna be too loud.
You could be with your fingers, you know what I mean?
Which I have like a bunch of different striking instruments. So I have like different types of brushes, different types of things to get away with it if I'm really in a pinch and I need to make it quieter. But if it's ahead of time, sometimes I've been hired to bring electronic drums. So then you can just control the volume completely. Sure. And I have like one of those high-end electronic drums. And that's been a solution for some of these events.
Some of these you go
like into. even some of these I've done where they have those expos where it's like you're in a booth and you can't really make that much noise. And I just set up the electronic drums, and I can be as loud or as quiet as it needs to be.
And he just gave me an idea, Keith.
Hey, I'm
Big
in.
Expo.
You know, man.
I'm glad we didn't drop any names yet, because the wedding that we met at, that room upstairs acoustically has to blow.
Oh yeah.
And the way that room is set up is it's very strange.
It's actually the acoustics of each room are why some people think like I'm nuts, because I always mic my drums every single time. And that's for my in-ears. So I'm running like a feed so I can hear myself. But in addition, I think that it's important to have all the sound that you possibly can coming out of a centralized location.
Right.
So with that type of room, there's phasing, there's delay. So like some people over here that are X amount of feet away from the drum set, but maybe even further from the speakers, they're going to get a flam, a delayed response. So with that, the way that I mitigate against that flamming or discrepancy in time is to put everything mic'd up.
Right.
Even if it's just a little bit in there, it's subconsciously, it glues everything together.
Yeah. This is a perk that we always talk about when we do a DJ and MC team together. I'm like, there's so much that MC has to know and control to be the DJ's ears if they can't see half the room in, where the sound's going, kind of thing. But so let me ask you this. More times than none, you're with another musician and a DJ. Is it ever just you and a DJ?
When I first started, it's funny where the hybrid situation has gone, because I think I see more sax and violin nowadays than drums or percussion. And then but I will say that like 16 years ago, it was like, and then all the way up till almost 2020, I saw way more drummers. I thought that, I think that was like the most booked hybrid that I would see. And it would just be mainly me and a DJ.
Huh.
And I thought that like, I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed that freedom that I had, because I worked with some DJs that actually wanted to be a little bit more behind the scenes. They'd be on the microphone, they would do the stuff, but then when it was DJ time, they like kind of wanted some level of focus off of them and somebody to carry that performance. And so that
energy.
And again, like,
I'm here.
I like attention.
He's like, I'm here.
Yeah, I'm ready. So
awesome.
So it was a lot of that, but now it's more with another musician. Yeah.
Sax and violin, it's definitely skyrocketed since COVID, especially. And it's one of them things where it was like, it's just growing. How are we not offering it at this point? And obviously we've been doing it probably almost like 2 years now. But I think I had a call the other day, and listen, everything comes down to money, right? So you could spend $500,000 or $50,000 on entertainment essentially for your wedding, but like when they're talking DJ and band, the obvious answer to me is, well, what's your budget? Because for what you're going to spend on a good band versus a good DJ is an astronomical difference in most places, if you will. But I had a consult the other day with a couple, super cool, didn't seem like budget was an issue. They were talking band versus DJ. And I was like, well, welcome to 2026. Like, you adding 1, 2, 3 musicians, hypothetically. It's the first time I said drums too. And I was like, what are we thinking here? Because there's simple things. And me personally, I love to go out at a bar and sing along, and I'm right up there fist pumping. But at the same time, I feel like every time I'm a guest at a wedding, there's a band. And I don't want to say that I'm a hater on bands at weddings, but like little things like, if my mom is at this wedding, hypothetically, my cousin got married this summer, and I want to dance her with Frank Sinatra or something early in the night, not this woman singing Frank Sinatra who's 28. Like little things like that were weird to me. Mr. Brightside is a song that you've heard 10,000 times, but I feel like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just different to me. Adding the live musicians to the DJ that can be part of it all. And again, going back to the cocktail hour aspect, I love adding that spice flair, if you will, I think that alone, and I'm teaching myself sales points as I sit here and talk to you, I think that alone excites me to push the percussion, because cocktail can be stuffy. You and Sasha that I saw that day were just very fun, upbeat, and energetic. And I was like, this is energy, and it's all about energy and vibes. So I think for so many years it's been such a debate of DJ or band, and now, no disrespect to the band world, I feel like the DJs are cheating by getting to have both options now, because it's just not comparable. If you want Frank Sinatra early, you can, but if you want that, I like the, we're going to say blowing air. That's what this episode is going to be called, blowing air. Yeah, you know? But again, I'm such a big fan of it.
Bands, they obviously, due to some DJs didn't become as in vogue over bands until I would say more recently. This is like but the trend is certainly going more and more hybrids. One, it's more cost effective. Two, some of these bands, the talent is spread out.
Sure.
So you got a big band and you have to spread out the talent. And so some of those musicians might be amazing musicians, but again, they're providing the service of that gig, which is that they're the guitar player and they're reading their charts and they're providing a little bit of energy, but mostly they're there to play the parts. When you do this hybrid thing, you're getting a whole nother level of entertainment where if you have somebody that really cares and understands the nature of the job, you're going in and you're like, how do I make this a fun, interactive experience? And yeah, with the hybrids, I don't think that like you see more bands doing these things where the horn section goes out in the crowd and plays Fireball or something along those lines. And you see that, but I think that they're actually taking a little bit of those cues from the hybrids, because that's like the standard with hybrids.
Yeah.
Like if
you're
you're
out there,
if you're a sax player and you're in a hybrid and you're not on the dance floor, like you're doing something wrong. Like so, it's I think that bands are catching up a little bit with that. And there are great event bands in this area and all over the place, and they provide a certain look. I think that some people want to hear Frank Sinatra sung by Frank Sinatra, but with a live element. With it, if they close their eyes, they want to feel like it's live, and that's what I believe. That especially adding the drums, but adding any type of hybrid, you get that like live element and live energy with the way that you want to hear the songs.
You know, just to backtrack, I think there's a massive aspect of decent band versus a great band, especially at a wedding.
Yeah.
And I feel as though my experience in some of them weren't just none of them are bad. None of them wowed me either. Mm-hmm. So there's that. But I think you have to spend top dollar if you want one of the really good bands. And there's no middle grounds. I feel like it's just the tipping scale is just very far and few in between.
Yeah.
So, but I think people are spending more money on experiences with adding extra lighting, cold sparks, and all these other extras that if they choose a band, they're not getting any of these other things.
No.
And you can now do the best of both worlds, still come in cheaper than a good band. Yeah. Totally off topic too, with changing and over the past 5-10 years. I think 10 years ago, there were way less DJs mixing that there are today. Like high number of 10 years ago versus today. So when you're talking about like bands versus DJs and, who's taking the lead on things, if you will, I think so many DJs have gotten better than 10 years ago. A lot of the club DJs became into the wedding world that also drove up the standard of, whether you're quick mixing or other things that, especially this new generation of Gen Z getting married, like you better know how to mix. And then you have a good mixing DJ with the hybrids. It's just, for me, I'm biased, but it's game over at that point for, when you put it all down on paper.
That also is that the market demands that there's more mixing and more of the stuff that people see on social media. 10 years ago, you probably could have gotten away with less mixing and just being the person that basically you're just an operator. You're showing up, you're setting up a sound system, and you're making sure that the songs that they request are played. But there's no artistic flow to
flow. Period.
And I think that there's more competition now as far as DJs are concerned than there's ever been.
Yep.
And I think that if you're not doing the extra stuff of mixing and creating a vibe, then the client that sees the videos on Instagram of the DJs that are doing that,
Right.
that's what they're going to expect. And I do think that it becomes kind of game over when you add the musicians in, because you're kind of getting the best of both worlds, and you're getting another element that's like a third thing, which is this heightened level of interaction from your musicians that you wouldn't necessarily get from just a band.
Yeah. Do you have any crazy stories of like one that just stands out to you? That's a fun story to tell.
I mean, I've done
You're like tons actually.
So I've definitely I've played events where this is, I don't know how appropriate this is for the podcast. So if it isn't,
we'll take it. We'll see it.
I played a wedding one time where everybody was like, everybody in the bridal party was like hammered by the time they got to the grand entrances, and the groomsmen's shirts were off by the time they were walking in, and there was an issue with a groomsman and a groomsman's girlfriend going into the men's bathroom and catching him with somebody else and another bridesmaid, and it caused chaos. Everybody's out of the room.
This is before intros?
This happened after intros.
Later. Okay.
But the shirts were off, so I got the indication that things were gonna be a little wild. And about 30 minutes into the party, no one's in the room. Everybody rushes out of the room, and we're like, where'd everybody go? And there's just a full ruckus outside. There's a fight. All these things. It did get calmed down after about 45 minutes, and the people that were responsible were removed from the situation, but it definitely caused like what is happening here? And
it's like, game on. Everyone come back
all
on.
right, we're going to restart the party. Let's bring the vibes back up. Here's Rihanna.
Meanwhile,
please don't stop the music.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Sasha's in the middle of it.
Like, oh, is anything wrong?
He's like, we really get in the middle of the part of the energy.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So what should people ask when they're hiring you to be a drummer for the wedding, you know, as far as that? Like, what should couples know?
I think that a couple that would be inquiring about a percussionist, they would probably want a pretty high energy party, let's say, because it does take the level from just a standard DJ to with a drummer. It takes the level up. I think that some of the questions that I frequently get are, will you be too loud? Will it be too loud? What kind of songs can you play? What's the song list? That's a lot of times I get that kind of question.
I think a lot of people have that misconception immediately.
But I think because violin seems like a different thing if you're talking about that. Drums, I feel like a drummer can just hit anything.
Certainly. Yeah, you could right? approach it that way.
Isn't it all simply notes and beats?
It's just basically, yeah, it's timing, and then every song has like a different not every song, but some songs have different feels to them. There's different levels of swing. Sometimes drums aren't quantized if it's like a Motown song or a Beatles song or anything pre. It could. It's
what does
really,
that mean? I need to know. Quantized.
So
again, for the viewers at home.
Yeah, I just went with it. I'm like, yeah, what?
So quantizing is when they take. Well, let's say some music wasn't recorded to a click track, so there's a variable tempo. Like I even watched something on Instagram the other day. It was Rosanna by Toto, and it was the tempo map of that, and it drops. It varies by like 15 BPM. It's like at the beginning, it's like 171. It goes down to like 162.
How's that start off? I can't think of it, but I know the song. I know the Rosanna.
Yeah. How does Rosanna start?
I don't know how it starts. I cannot visualize how it starts, but I know the Rosanna part. Right? Okay.
How is this not like? Can this be the clip to Benny Brown's?
Rosanna, right? Like that.
Is that it?
We got it's something like that. We did
it. I should have. It's a drum intro. I should have known.
Come on.
So that's interesting, though.
You know, I never knew this was Toto.
Oh yeah. Jeff Porcaro playing drums.
So the interesting part about that is I didn't know that, like, because they didn't use the click tracks, there's a lot of like stuff's not completely on beat. Like it all comes around and it's pretty close, but it's not like it is.
It's pretty close. It's within, but a lot of, especially like music, I guess pre-90s, even some of those 90s rock bands weren't using click track. I don't think Nirvana.
So music
was
more artistic as opposed to scientific as it is now, right?
I mean, in some ways, certainly. In some ways, things are more regimented. They're more on beat. Like it's not like you would hear a maybe Bruno Mars. Maybe there's some variation there, but traditionally, I would say that most pop music that I'm hearing nowadays is always on the grid. It's always right on the beat. There might be like levels of swing happening, so like in between the beats, but that's like just nuance.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, so
interesting.
if I'm playing, if for me personally, like I set the standard that like I know almost. There's really not many songs that I've ever played at a wedding that I didn't know beforehand.
Right.
And that might be that I sat at home and practiced them. It might be that I just know them from playing them a million times at weddings. As a drummer, you can get away with like, you're not going to play a wrong note, let's say. You're not going to, like that snare drum isn't out of key like a violin player would be. But you still have to like think appropriately, A, timing wise, B, like where are the breaks? If there's a break, you want to make sure that you nail those breaks. If you don't nail that break, then make sure that you're not doing something that's distracting from that break. But yeah, I think that there's some level of it, but yes, certainly less than like a violin player or a sax player or any type of melodic instrument. Right. You know, I don't need to know the key of any particular song that I'm playing. It might be helpful.
That's interesting.
If I'm playing something else, but generally, yeah, I can get away with not knowing I don't need to know the chord progressions of every song to like make it happen.
Right.
I got another question to follow up with the one that I asked you about, like, you know, what they need to know. Are you constantly playing the drums throughout the whole song, every song? Or are you, because I noticed that like when you have like a violinist or saxophonist, they'll play a little bit, they'll riff a little bit, and they'll basically stop and they'll wait and they'll kind of know. A drummer, I feel like you can kind of just play the whole time. Are you expected to sit there and just pop, pop, pop and hit the whole time?
So you can approach it like that. In certain songs, I would approach it where I'm just thinking, like especially like Mr. Brightside. Like that's a pretty iconic drum part. I know all of the fills. I know all of the stuff. So I'm playing that pretty close. I do add a double bass on the post chorus, like when it goes to that.
He said in an interview that he wished he did that. So I think
exactly, yeah, it would have made it so much sicker. But yeah, so I like those songs. Like I played that pretty by the book. But there's certain songs, like especially if it has percussion in there, or if it has like programmed drums, especially like hip hop music. There will be times where I sit out the verses. And maybe I'm not sitting out and just like, I'm sitting here and waiting for my turn. I'm getting up and I'm dancing. I'm getting up. I'm interacting with people. I'm trying to be a little bit of a showman during that part. And when I am not playing, it's for the impact of when I start playing again.
Right.
By taking an element away, there's something missing, and that means that the next time I play, it's going to be that much more impactful. So I'm making choices based on that. Also, it's a long night, so like there might be like a verse that like is happening and I'm like, I'm gonna take a drink of water real quick and then get back to it.
I get it.
And the beat will the song will still go on even if I stop playing.
I like this next part that I didn't even read until just now that we're gonna add in. Optional game. Play it, leave it, or light it up is your response. Okay.
Play it, leave it. So you understand?
Are these gonna be songs?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Play it, leave it.
Or light it up.
It's like
light it up is like
you're like hardcore, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I actually
it's
really
like marry,
this.
kill, F almost, right?
Yeah.
Literally. Usher, yeah.
Light it up.
Light it up.
Every time that song comes on, it's like it picks me back up.
It never not works.
Yeah.
It never doesn't work. It's like one of those forever songs.
ABBA, Dancing Queen.
Become way more popular lately.
Would you say cliched?
No.
I was just saying the way you were saying.
You know,
it,
I like playing that song. As a drummer, that's one of those examples of like it, because it's like, I don't know if it's it seems like it's real drums to me. There's inconsistencies in the time. And there's inconsistencies in the swing versus straight in that song too.
Okay.
So that one, I will say, I'll play it.
Okay. September, Earth, Wind, Fire.
I mean, you gotta
like,
play. I play it every single
staple.
time. I love it. Yeah.
Mr. Brightside, you already answered.
Yep.
Pink Pony Club.
I'm pretty sick of Pink Pony Club. If I'm being 100% honest, I'm pretty sick of Pink Pony Club. It works as like a sing-along. I don't see it as like it's not this big dance moment, but people love singing along to it. I've been doing where I play the first half of the song, and if I have my guitar on me, I'll stand up on the drum seat and I'll take the guitar solo.
This is awesome.
This guy's
So,
a
like,
showman.
So
So you're leaving that one.
I
that
do.
what-
I will. I'm
Are we
gonna light
lighting
it
that
up.
one
I
up?
don't think
Lighting
he
it
answered
up.
it.
I
I'm
love
lighting it
it.
up because I get to play the guitar
I
solo.
love it. I love it. Turn down for what?
Love it. I love that song. And I love when DJs do the pause for like an extended period of time. I've even seen it recently, and I've been doing it with a DJ friend of mine, where you bring the couple up for that moment. So the bride's up there with the headphones on. It's like everybody's hands go up.
Yeah.
And they
And then,
say
and
that.
then wait, no. And then
Is that the song? And they stay there.
No, that's wrong. Sorry, that's a
not-
different one. Turn down for what is?
I'm like, wait a minute. Wait.
Down and everybody down.
Turn down for what?
And so it's the same concept.
Right.
Sorry,
Same drop aspect, but I was like, wait, you guys are talking about. two
I wanted to
different
make
It was
sure.
my bad.
No, you're good.
So getting back to turn down
we
for
can't
what?
remember every song.
Down and everybody shouts.
Down,
And it just
down.
stops.
Right.
And you don't let anybody, just keep it there. And then you let the bride press play on the turn down for what? So it's a nice little moment. I love that song. Let's
Light
it up, even though I
I like this.
messed
This is a
up
good
which
game.
one it was.
Unwritten. Natasha
Ooh.
Bedingfield.
Standing.
I do love that
blank
song.
page
I love it.
before
It's a
don't-
great song.
It's something
I'm
that
glad it's got
still hits
a-
with me every
It was the
time.
theme song for
window.
One
Tree Hill.
One Tree Hill?
Illuminate
Laguna
the
Beach?
words that
No,
you-
Dawson's Creek. What was it? No, which
The
one
Hills?
was it? It was one of them. It was definitely one of them.
Yeah,
Release
I'm gonna
your
leave it. I'm gonna leave it. I'm
Whoa,
over that
Oh,
song.
he's leaving it.
I'm leaving it.
Last one.
Wow.
Levels of Avicii.
Oh, I love that song. I love
So-
yeah,
so that's all-
forever. I mean,
It's a
I don't-
staple.
I'm weird in that I don't really get sick of songs. I've played Uptown Funk a million times. I'm down to play it 1,000,001. Like there's certain songs that like I get sick of hearing them, but I don't really ever get sick of playing them.
That's fair.
Because they're fun, and I can always make it new to me too.
I think we got to play this game with everyone that comes on.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's
I like
fun.
this game.
Yeah, because DJs
This
are gonna
is-
have a different thought process. People that just like listening to the song, like you said, playing it is different than listening to it. So it's kind of like good to get it from both angles, right? People that just listen to something, like maybe we have just a regular photographer on or something.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
This is another segment that's just on.
We
here
got a
that
new
we're just
segment.
making
Listen,
up.
we're trying out new
Yeah.
segments.
Optional rapid fire. I feel like I don't even know how you have an answer to this, but favorite song to play live? Of course.
At a wedding, it's like become a caricature of all like my friends that I work with. Like I love playing Fireball. I look at Pitbull.
He already-
I love
he already
that
dropped
song.
that
I
earlier.
think that song's awesome.
I like it's what 12 years old at this point.
It's wild that it's 10 plus years.
But I
already.
remember when it first came out, I was just like, I love this song, and I know I've seen Pitbull quite a few times actually
Okay.
live. And
You're like Mr. Pitt himself. I
yeah,
know.
he's Mr. Worldwide and Mr. 305. He's got
Right.
he's centralized and worldwide. No, but I think that
You got to start somewhere.
there's some of these like artists that like almost like they're making songs directly for weddings, like Pitbull, Flo Rida.
Facts.
Yeah, Ed Sheeran's all of his like ballads are definitely for that type of. They're like intended purpose. And like I look at like some of these Pitbull songs, they're like party steroids. Like it's not like necessarily. I'm not gonna be like putting Pitbull on in my car and listening to it while I'm driving around.
Sure.
But the general population, it like pleases people in a way that not a lot of songs do. So
You're
it's
100% accurate.
yeah, so like if it's in Fireball in particular is something that like I've developed over time because you got you have a built-in like shout moment like where it brings it all the way down and then bringing it up, and I always take that moment because that like you were saying about like not playing. Well, I'm not like necessarily playing during there's drums in that part, but I'll take a drum out onto the dance floor and do physically where I'm going down and then back up. It becomes like a little moment that I've done every
We
single
got
time.
to
at
go
this
with
point.
Benny Brown.
He's a
Yeah,
showman.
you know. So like I bring these little kungas that I can put on top of my drums. So like it's like a flat kunga head, and I put it on top of a floor tom, and then I bring that floor tom out onto the audience, and that's like me either my moment to come play real soft, or maybe that's my moment that I find the bride and groom and I have light up drumsticks and I give them their moment to play on my drum. People can get their photo op, and it's like just a cool little moment that I'm interacting with the couple and making sure that they have this thing. And Fireball's a great example for that. Sorry for going really long-winded on
Say
Fireball.
that was not rapid fire.
I'll go quick. I'll go quicker this time.
Hardest genre to play.
It's either, this is weird, but it's either like some of that really high end heavy metal stuff with crazy double bass or gospel music, actually, because those drummers are just absolutely unbelievable.
One artist you'd love to perform with.
I have a list, but it would probably be like Justin Timberlake or Jay-Z or Bruno Mars.
Justin Timberlake's almost down and out. You might be able to perform with him soon.
I'm trying.
I'm just saying, like, he's by the time you get to perform with him,
yeah, he hasn't had a hit since 2016, but we'll be okay with it.
I think he hit someone with his car during that DUI.
Yeah, it's gonna ruin the tour. I would have not ruined the tour, is what I'm saying. The tour would have been fine with me.
Most underrated wedding song.
Underrated.
Besides Fireball.
Can I say Fireball again?
No.
I think that underrated.
You got one, Keith, while you're here?
Oh, am I in on this?
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't even remember the question. I'm sorry.
Underrated wedding song.
I'm thinking of funny quips the whole time, so my brain's like, go ahead. Underrated wedding song for me? Underrated?
Yeah. Babe, We're Gonna Love Tonight. It's my jam.
I don't even know it.
Yes, you do.
I know it, but I can't like picture it. Oh, this song?
No.
If this song gets played at my wedding, I'm firing the DJ.
I love it.
I don't. I hate those like weird 80s beats. I hear them immediately. They trigger me. I don't know what it is.
So you don't like
You know which one I'm talking about? The one that what guy I think Kendrick did like a cut like a. Isn't there one that he sampled for like some
Yeah,
one
but
of
I
his
can't
songs?
think of what you're talking about.
I'm thinking like underrated. Like if I'm thinking underrated, there's certainly songs that used to get played a lot that I always loved, and then I've seen.
You got one?
Less.
You got one?
I mean, it got played out, but like I loved playing like Dynamite by Tayo Cruz. Like I don't see that as much anymore.
I still like to hear that.
I love it.
I agree.
There's certain DJs that I work with that use it as the opening song.
Mike, who
I know the
sings
song
Down?
I was thinking of.
Sean Down.
Sean. Yeah.
I like that song.
For that squabble up, he used When I Hear the Music. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, Debbie Deb.
Yeah.
When I hear the music. Yeah, you're right.
All
All right, two more.
Gotcha.
Describe your performance style in 3 words. That's a rapid fire. How do you do that?
Professional. Energetic.
You had to.
I was going to say energetic. I wanted to say
if he
energetic.
didn't say it, I was like, I was going to start with one.
Energetic and fun. Yeah, I'm fun.
Okay. Lastly, finish this sentence. You know it was a great wedding when
I would say, it's a great wedding when
Benny Brown's there. I mean,
it's a great wedding if everybody had a great time. And that sounds like simplistic, but it's really just like you can see it. You can see the energy of a
physically.
party. Yeah, like, and sometimes there are moments that the crowd needs a break, or you do something down tempo or
Sure.
a ballad to get everybody. That happens, and that doesn't necessarily mean that it was a bad party. Even if you have a 10-minute like lull in the middle when people are getting cake or
when Keith
whatever.
sent me that video of a wedding this past weekend, he sent me a video.
I waited
There's
to
no
say-
one on the dance. I'm like,
It was like
bro,
1
what is going on? He's
second
like,
after they all
everyone
went
just
to
went to go
dessert.
get dessert
Yeah.
and just cleared the dance floor. I'm like,
Sometimes
oh
it
my
happens.
God.
I got
It's
this.
terrible.
You know it's a great wedding when your girlfriend doesn't come in the bathroom unannounced. You know what
Oh
I'm
my
saying?
God.
Exactly,
Holy
yeah.
cow. Like, how do we not end
that
it
there's
right
no
there?
fights, that there's no injuries.
My wife's gonna listen to this and be like, "What the hell does that mean?" I'm like, I'm joking. I'm
Right.
joking.
She was like, she didn't listen to the whole pod.
You got to get the context.
she's gonna listen to that one thing out of context, and I'm gonna get shit over it.
Benny, before we end, anything that sticks out that we didn't talk about that our listeners would gain some knowledge with hiring a percussionist for their wedding?
I think that people see drums, see percussion, and they think loud. They think overbearing, or as some people that would be averse to it might think that it's something that would distract from it and distract from the DJ, distract from the music. Maybe it's too loud. You're not going to please everybody. And I think that even like those gigs where, like, let's say I was right next to grandma, and that it's usually the older people that I get the most attention from. I get a lot of attention from the parents of the bride, parents of the groom. That generation, I get a lot of feedback from them. They always are coming up to me and saying like, "What a great job!" Because some of those people actually aren't on the dance floor. They might be the people that are actually enjoying the performance as a performance and not as an interactive type of thing. And I think that those people are important too. So it maybe adding a drummer or a hybrid is not only providing energy for the dance floor, but is also providing entertainment for the entire party.
I like it.
Yeah.
I think it's a solid ending, to be honest.
I got one real quick.
Yeah.
Tips, tricks, anything for brides, and grooms, like tips and tricks that you come across. If you don't have one, you don't have one. But we usually do good with tips, tricks, trends, anything. Doesn't have to be about percussion, but can.
There's a lot of time and effort making sure that the right songs are played and the wrong songs are not played. And that's like the scratching the surface of like what actually can happen throughout a night. And I think that when you get the right team and the right people involved on an event that everybody cares and is going 100% and is trying to make the best of them each moment and make sure that it's a memorable night for everybody, I think that everybody that especially in a hybrid situation, everybody can contribute a memory or two in that night for that couple, for those party attendees. Like I think that there's something that like, you might not get that necessarily from a promo video or going to see a showcase or something along those lines, but you get it when you're in the room with them, that this is a thing where you're bringing your party to the next level with a level of energy. And if what you want is like a more band experience, and I think that a lot of people hire bands because the price tag is big. Sure. Some people hire bands because the price tag is big. And it's I think that what I would try to convince any couple that's on the fence about whether or not they're going to hire a musician or a DJ, a musician with a DJ or a band or just a DJ, I would say that if you're high energy people and you want a high energy party, having a couple people on an event that really care and want to take it up to the next level is maybe better than just having one person.
Yeah,
and that's the one element of having a DJ that you might not necessarily get versus a band where you have 10 people providing energy. Like I think that with that hybrid thing, you can really get the best of both worlds, but also take it up to even a level that bands might not be able to get to.
Hannah Montana, that shit.
That's right.
Best of both worlds.
Well, Benny Brown, thanks for making this the loudest episode without even playing a drum. Check out our guy on IG, Down Like Benny Brown. Thanks for coming on the show, my guy. Until next time, we got to get this guy to a wedding.
Yeah.
Benny, it was nice having you on.
Yeah.
We're
Thanks
out
for
of
having
here.
me.
Cut.